Welcome back to Ambitious Mindset 713. It's been a good while since I uploaded a video. I have been working on other things that I will discuss in another video at a later time. Let's go right ahead and jump into Chapter 4. The Texas Dwelling Policy is primarily designed to cover private dwellings. Most private dwellings in Texas are covered by the Texas Homeowners Policy, but the Texas Dwelling Policy has a few characteristics that make it necessary. The Texas Dwelling Policy covers property only. There are no specific coverages for liability. To qualify for a Texas Dwelling Policy, the property must be owned by the policyholder, but they do not have to occupy the property. The policy is designated for individually owned houses, townhouses, garage apartments, stationary mobile homes. The policy cannot be used for dwellings with 500 plus feet of business operations, or more than 50% of the dwelling used for business. The policy cannot be used to cover houseboats, boat docks, boathouses, condominiums, or dwellings under construction. Structure. The Texas Dwelling Policy is available on 3 different forms. You must know these. Basic, DP1, Broad, DP2, Special, DP3. The difference between the forms is characterized by the perils the property is insured against. The coverages describe exactly what property is protected. A. Dwelling. B. Other structures. C. Personal property. D. Fair rental value.
E.
Additional living expense. Basic form. DP1 covers perils such as fire, lightning, riot, explosion, vehicle, civil commotion, hail, smoke, hurricane, aircraft, windstorm, vandalism, volcanic eruption. The coverages on the DP1 are as follows. A. Dwelling. B. Other structures. C. Personal property. D. Fair rental value. And the valuation. ACV means actual cash value. The broad form, DP2, covers the basic plus collapse, water damage, freezing, heat must be on, falling objects, weight of ice, sleet or snow, damage by burglars. For the coverages, you have A through D and E, which is additional living expenses. You can study the valuations for each. You may want to screenshot or write these down because you must know all of this information on this slide. Finally, the Special DP3. It is an all-risk or broad peril form. Moving on to coverages.
Coverage A.
The dwelling, direct loss. The dwelling itself. Materials used to make repairs, brick, plywood, etc. Maintenance, floor coverings, window shades, refrigerators, stoves, provided by the landlord. Coverage B. Detached structures, direct loss. Detached garage, storage shed, etc. 10% of coverage A. Coverage C.
Contents.
Personal or business property while on the premises. Personal property of guests while on the premises. Personal property off the premises. Only covered up to 10% of coverage. See minimum loss of $1,000 to claim. Property of others. When I borrow my next-door neighbor's lawn mower and blow it up, accidental, of course. Coverage D. Fair rental value. Indirect or consequential loss. Loss of rents, if the owner is a landlord, after a covered peril which makes the property uninhabitable during the time of reconstruction. Max limit is 20% of coverage A.
Coverage E.
Additional living expenses, indirect or consequential loss. The insured will be reimbursed for additional expenses incurred due to a covered loss that damages a dwelling to the extent that the dwelling can no longer be used. Cost of a hotel after a fire. Extensions of coverage. Extensions of coverage are not additional amounts of insurance. They are included as part of the coverages provided when specific situations apply. Many of the extensions found in the Texas Dwelling Policy are also found in other policies. Debris removal. If a loss is covered by the policy, the cost of removing the debris caused by the loss is also covered. Improvements, repairs, alterations. The insurer does not have to inform the insurance company of all improvements, repairs, or alterations. They are automatically covered up to a specific amount. 10% of coverage C. If amount of the improvement is over this amount, the insured should inform the insurance company. In other words, you do not need to call the insurance company if you add a ceiling fan, but if you add a new room or make a major improvement, you should inform them. Trees, shrubs, plants, lawns. Provides coverages for trees, Shrubs or plants up to $500 each. Maximum of 5% of coverage A. Against damage for covered perils. Wind is excluded. Worldwide coverage. Personal property up to 10% of coverage C. Personal property limit. General exclusions. Flood. Excluded on most property policies. War and nuclear hazard. Theft. Electrical appliances. Settling or earth movement. Animals. Boats. Money. This is the end of Chapter 4. Please study this chapter very well. A lot of this information is on the exam. See you in Chapter 5.